everything that can be achieved in life has to go from and through neuroplasticity.
Hello, and welcome aboard another episode of the Captain's Lifestyle Podcast. This is your captain speaking, Taylor Morgan. On today's episode, we have another special guest. His name is Jean Fallacara. Jean is a scientist, athlete, speaker, biohacker, author of Neuroscience Calisthenics, COO of Biohackers Update Magazine, and the founder/CEO of ZSci. He is a certified mindset and life coach and is a member of the International Society for Neurofeedback and Research. Last year, Jean was also ranked in the top 10 motivational influencers in Canada. And I'm going to cut it off there just for the sake of time, but you have quite the background there, Jean. Welcome to the show.
I was listening to that. I probably should cut some parts and just like get to the point that I'm Jean. That's it.
That's awesome. And cyborg, also known as.
Yeah. I think that's an important part of my life. Cyborg gains. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So let's start there. Let's start with your background. You know, wherever you want to take with that, and then obviously that will get into how you got the name cyborg.
Okay. So background. If you go back, I was born in France. I from two Italian parents, and I moved to Canada a while ago. Started businesses, and I've been in business for pretty much my whole life. That's what I do. I'm a businessman. So my first company actually was a flop, and I went bankrupt, and I lost everything. And I started again, and then I made another company that I sold. With the money I made there, I acquired the factories in overseas, Korea and China, and ran businesses and then merger acquisition and stuff like that. But on the side of that, leaving the business side, I've been into sport my whole life. Into sport, mainly, I would say, extreme sports. So from skydiving to speleology, going into caves, rock climbing, skateboard.
The fun stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff, surfing, body surf too. So the fun stuff, but I think that it was probably related to the fact that my brain was not judging the impact of a dangerous life, and still today I can realize with the feedback and with the knowledge of myself that I'm never afraid of tomorrow. So. And that's the thing, and that's probably why I can do sports in an extreme way, even if they're like calisthenics is not an extreme sport, but it's still a fantastic sport to do. So I'll push myself always to the extreme limit, and I'll try to optimize everything I do. So how Cyborg Gains started, it's because before my name on Instagram was actually Dandy CEO, because I'm a kind of dandy. There's not much you can do about that. That's your personality.
Yeah.
So from Dandy CEO, because I was a CEO and I'm still a CEO, I was training calisthenics, and friends looked at my what I was doing and my performances, and they go like, "Hey, are you a cyborg or what? You always have gains faster than others." I was just like, "Oh, damn. Yeah, I am a cyborg, and I have gains, so let's do it." I swapped my name to Cyborg Gains. And the thing was funny because I started to explain people what I was doing to train, as simple as that, like my way of doing training and my way of optimizing my performances. And at the end, many people were interested in how I could achieve that progress so fast. And I'm not saying that I'm good at calisthenics. I'm okay, but when I want to get a move done, it's done. It's unlocked. That's just the thing. So from there, people were interested in seeing what I was doing, and I was explaining that I was using certain techniques and certain biohack as well to perform better. Like one of the pity is that you remember this company, Halo Neuro? They made the headset.
Halo?
Yeah. Yeah. So that company went bankrupt, got acquired by a company that is in the medical field now, and you cannot have access to those tools. But I'm still using this headset for transcranial stimulation, because I'm a very a true believer in neuroplasticity. And I think that everything that can be achieved in life has to go from and through neuroplasticity, using your brain. As long as you know how to use your brain, your body will just follow, because everything comes from here and goes down there. Of course, you have the feedback after that comes back to the brain, but this is the way, and this is what I've always tried to explain to people. And this is probably why I can do it in terms of calisthenics as well.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that's why you're kind of like a step ahead of the kind of average population? Because I feel like a lot of society is trying to go about it the opposite way, by trying to focus on everything besides the mindset. Whereas, and I know this is why mindset is the first thing that I teach in my program, is because your mindset is the foundation of everything else you do. So do you want to talk a little bit about the importance of mindset and how to cultivate?
Well, actually, if you know yourself and if you know how you function, mindset is everything. It's easy to say mindset is everything without explaining it, but mindset, it's really everything. It's because your mindset has an effect on your gut, has an effect on the performance, on the way that you see your day, on the mood, on the neurotransmitter that you're going to trigger in your brain that are either positive or negative. If you start your day by thinking in the wrong way and putting some stress on your body will react to that. And as a reaction to that, you will feel like sore muscle or no energy or no willing to do something. So it starts from your head, and whatever you want to do, have bigger muscle or whatsoever, that will not make your mindset better. So start by getting the right mindset, and then do the training to put your body in shape and to put your body in the way that you would like to see it. That's the only way. And to get the mindset, you need to know yourself and you need to know your body. That's the first step. If you don't know what's going on in your freaking head, you're not gonna know what is going on in your freaking life.
Exactly. I wish more people understood that, because like in my program, for example, I start off by having my clients develop their mission statement, their vision statement, their core values, to understand who they are. So what would you suggest for somebody who is trying to develop their mindset, who is trying to really know themselves? What would you say would be the first steps?
To know yourself. Damn, it takes a lot of comprehension of how your body works, because you cannot start and say, oh, I know myself because I'm going to react this way or this way. Reactions are made by the reptilian brain. So you will never know how your reptilian brain will react until you are in front of a confrontation, a sickness, a illness, or a stress situation, or whatsoever. You know how you will react in a positive environment, because this is your cortex working, and this is the way that you're going to think about answering a question. And most of the time, answering a question is just like putting some knowledge that you collected from someone else in the discussion, and this start from there. Start to get your own opinion on everything, and not copying what you've read from book and from people and influencers and stuff like that.
That's a big one, especially
with
the news. The news is trying to feed people all these crazy things. And a lot of that goes back to childhood too, right? Childhood conditioning, the things that either your parents said or your teachers or whatever. So
It's our environment that makes us. Absolutely, I agree.
So I talked about this on a prior podcast. I think it's all about mindfulness and just being aware that whatever happened in your past is not necessarily true, and then becoming aware and mindful that you are able to shape your own reality. You're able to change things, and you don't necessarily have to believe, for example, that you're not good at math just because one of your teachers said that in the past.
Said that, yeah.
And so I know that you struggled with or were diagnosed with ADD as a kid. You want to talk just briefly on what you did to help overcome that?
Yeah. You know, it's funny because when I was a child, I was hypersensitive, but really, my parents were like super strict on everything, family of 4 kids, and I had to behave. That's the thing. You don't eat without a right posture. You don't put food in your mouth if it's open, things like that. Very, very strict. And I got to be very, very sensitive. So at the age of between 8 and 12, if somebody was telling me, hey, you, I was crying all the time, but literally crying like a sissy.
Like a dandy.
Yeah,
dandy CEO.
That's it. That's it. And it stayed. But the funny thing is that at the age of 15, almost 16, I went to the other extreme, a punk, just to make myself affirmation. So I shaved my head, just kept a mohawk, green, and nice. I started to go on parties and do things like that. And I had an advantage is I was gifted, so I didn't have to learn things. They were just naturally absorbed by my brain most of the time. So if for school, it was fairly easy. I was the guy in the back of the room, close to the window, where professors and teacher would hate me, but when it turns to exams, I was always the first. And I got mentions and all my grades, most of them, even my bachelor, I was fired from the school because I was too nasty. And I went to the final exam and I finished first. So this is it, you know, that's probably an advantage, but related to ADD, it was probably that the reason I couldn't stay in place, concentrated on some things for more than 10 minutes. So trust me, being in class, in a classroom was a struggle for me. And so I preferred to go out with my friends. And then when it was time to learn, just put the focus on that. And that was the beginning of learning myself. Because I knew that if I had to learn some things, I would learn it. I knew that I couldn't stand discussion and phone calls and watching TV or things like that for too long. So I had to manage in between focusing my hyperactivity in brain and performing in my life. So it was always like up and downs, up and down, up and downs. And the more you grow up, you get old, the more you start to know yourself. But we're men, and we're not like women. Women are way more advanced than we are. So it came very late to master that part of controlling the ADD's illness. And at the end of the day, what I've done is recentered on myself, being more mindfulness, as you said, because this is the big word, being mindfulness, knowing yourself and knowing how to centralize the whole energy that you have from your body, your brain, your food, your behaviors, and your environment in the right direction. And this is a learning process. And this is it. This is how you do it. There is no secret potion that you can drink and say, oh, now I'm going to do it. Yeah, well, they now they have Adderall and Vivens and stuff like that, but still, it's not the perfect thing.
Yeah. So with that said, let's talk about some ways that you can boost focus, because I just actually made an Instagram post about this today. What are some of your top tips or ways that you can go about boosting focus without Adderall?
I think that the main thing that boosts focus is light exposure. That's the first thing. And after that, you have to learn how to meditate. And that was, for me, was really late. Meditation when I was a kid, and even I was trying to do yoga and meditation, and it was literally impossible to, I was just like, what the heck is this?
What stage were you at when you tried?
Oh my God.
Was it the punk stage?
I started to try to meditation because I was very anxious all the time when I started university. So between 19 and 20, finished university almost at 25. So at that age, I was just like, people were saying, do some things to control your mind, to control yourself. And I couldn't do meditation. I was just like, you can't focus on you can't focus on nothing. It seems so stupid to say, but it's so true. Later on, when I started to learn meditation, and there's a couple of techniques that helps you, like fixing on one point, listening to some things there, and then mixing them together brings you to a state of no environment effect, which is meditation. And so learning meditation for me was great. And I practice meditation every single day. And you don't have to take a time for meditation. Meditation can come at any time. Like, for example, I'm talking to you. I'm going to stop for 30 seconds. I'm going to meditate, and 30 seconds. And that's fine. That's okay. You can use it anytime. So in my routine in the morning, I would say, I wake up, I drink water, of course, make some move, exposed to light. First thing, because that gives you focus. Honestly, it's and it's based on neuroscience. It's so backed up. The effect of light on the brain is tremendous. And second step is do meditation. Try to put yourself together to get a good start for your day. And this is the best way to get focused. And then when you are focused, for me, it's easy because I don't work much time per day, so I can work out. But let's say I have to work on my businesses. What I'm going to do for focusing, I just follow my ultradian rhythm, which is, this cycle of an hour and 30 minutes that you have, that you can actually really focus, but not more than that. People that works 3 hours consecutive is just a waste of time. Your brain is not made for that. Point. End of the story. When you sleep by the same cycle, 90 minutes. And when you're awake, your brain is capable of keeping that focus for 90 minutes as well. So make those 90 minutes efficient as possible. Do all the job that you would have done procrastinating in 3 hours or 6 hours, do it in 1 hour and 30 minutes, and in 1 hour if you can do it. And that's what I call focus. And then do something else. Change environment, go outside, change completely what you're doing for another hour. Come back if you have more work to do, and refocus. And that's the way that you can get the premium, the ultra focus that people are always chasing. And they call it sometimes, I work on flow or whatsoever. Sometimes it's just like, I think it's sometimes too bullshit to be true. It's not necessarily to be in flow, but it's just to be in phase with your brain and your possibilities. And this is it. Yeah. And it's this, it's the same for working out. Same thing.
Right. Yeah. I've experienced that in working out as well as work. So let's stick on this topic for a little bit, because I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs listening who there's kind of like this badge of honor, like the busier you are as an entrepreneur, the more successful you are, or that you're going to be. And as you and I know, that's just simply not the case. So
that's
like working 60, 80 plus hour weeks is not the solution unless you truly love that. Like there's people like Gary Vee who really do enjoy that.
Yeah, I like this guy. I respect that. But honestly, look at that in the psychological way of it, not on the performance of work, but why are you working that long? Are you escaping something from your personal life? Don't you have anything more important than work to do? I think that this is the most important thing. People that are working 60 hours a week, most of the time they have a shit life in family.
A lot of times,
I don't want
yeah.
that. I'm judging, and sorry for that, guys, but that's the way. If you want to have an happy life, you have to make the effort to have an happy life. You have to be present with your kids. You have to be present with your wife or your boyfriend or whatsoever, but you have to be present. And it's not by working that you're going to be the best. Yeah, you're going to be respected in your business, and people on your back will always say, damn, that guy works so much, he has no life. True.
Yeah. I think the ultimate goal in life is success. Happiness. I think everything comes back to happiness. And this goes back to mindfulness and being aware, like you were talking about. In order to achieve true happiness, you have to be aware of yourself. You have to be mindful of those things that do make you happy. And a lot of the times it is relationships. It is spending time with your family. It's spending time out in nature, in exercising, in just enjoying life. And a lot of times that doesn't necessarily involve working 60 plus hours a week. Yeah. So for all those entrepreneurs who are listening out there, how can they go about maximizing their time to still have a successful business, but also optimize their work-life balance to where they are still living an enjoyable life?
Okay. The first thing to do is ask yourself a question. What is success for you? That's the most important question anyone should ask. If you have the answer to that, for me, being successful is not the money that you make. And I've made money in my life. I've sold businesses and I lost money in my life. I went bankrupt from one top to the other, millions of dollars and millions of debt. But at the end of the day, success for me is having the time to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, with whom I want to do it. That's success. Freedom. Point. Nothing more than that. Yeah. And this is it. And to get to the stage of freedom, you need to discipline yourself. You need to do things that are right and not the right thing, but that are right for your goals and are right for your life, and mainly are right for your brain. Because I come back to what I said before, start from here. If this one is not functioning or is working too much, you're not performing.
Yeah. And I love your answer to that question, defining success. I've talked about this on prior podcasts. I think too many people are just letting other people's opinions of or definitions of success affect them. Like society's definition of success is money, is fame, is, a big, huge business. But
big car,
and that's what the news and the movies, that's what they put on like this billboard and says like, this is success. But then you look at a lot of those people, millionaires, billionaires, they can have anything they want in the world, but a lot of them aren't happy. And so is that really success? I don't think so. And so too many people are chasing what they think is success, only to get there. A lot of times they reach there and they regret the past 30 years of their life because they were working so hard to not be happy.
Their kid grew up and
they don't know their kid, and their relationship with their wife is all messed up. And so again, it all goes back to the very first thing we talked about, awareness and knowing yourself.
Awareness. Absolutely.
It's so important.
It's so important. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is like you're chasing these clouds or fame you're chasing money, but you cannot be happy for one reason, because you will never know who your friends are.
And a lot of fake friends.
Yeah. And now neuroscience has really showed that relationship, and especially during this COVID period, research has even more focused on that type of topic. But it's shown that we are human. We need relationship. We need to have a relation with others. And if we don't, we're not happy. So this is the point. You're chasing fame, you're chasing things, and you don't have friends. And even the friends that are around you are just like because you have money. And I had that problem, honestly. When I sold my company, I had a bunch of friends that before they were just hating me. And they came to me, yeah, let's go party. You're my guest. You're my favorite guest, blah, 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 blah.
Just because of the money.
That's it. And so at the end of the day, it's just like,
chase happiness, not
that's
money.
it. Yeah. What counts is, I think, recenter on yourself, recenter on what you want to have out of your life. And the first question that you have to do every single day, the first thing you do when you step out your bed and you put your, and you know, ADD has some consequences. So I put my right feet on the floor, always, for luck, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's been like that forever. But anyway, if I put my feet on the floor, my right feet on the floor to start my day, I will ask myself one question. What's going to be my accomplishment today? Just one. I don't need 3. I don't need 4. I don't need 60. I just want one. That would make me happy for the day. And at the end of the day, before I go to bed and I'm sitting on the side of the bed, I'm just checking back. Did I make it today or did I miss it? Yeah. Most of the time, I've just made it because I'm choosing easy goals because I want to be happy.
Yeah, that's a really good point. A lot of my high-performing clients ask me, they're like, hey, Taylor, I feel like I'm doing a million things at once, but nothing's getting done. Like, what can I do? And I tell them exactly what you just said. Yeah. Like, pick one thing. Your brain is trying to focus on all these different areas, and multitasking is not a thing. Like, you can't do all these different things. Pick one thing. Like you said, what is your one accomplishment for the day, and do that thing. Then if you do that, if you get that done, great, you have extra time, and then you have the option to do these other things.
Yeah, but, and your brain will send you some serotonin to make you feel, like you made something great today. So you're going to be more willing to do something even better tomorrow. And it's crescendo, you know, it's a small chunk at the time that makes your life a success. It's not like, don't try to jump from here to here in one step, but go slowly and crescendo, you're going to make it. There is no way. And it's for everybody. You don't have to be clever. You don't have to be beautiful. You don't have to be strong. Just take the path slowly but surely. And every time you make a step, make sure that you're going to achieve that small step. All cumulative. Yeah, that's it. Consistency. And you go back, you're going to go up to where you want to be. Whatever your abilities were before, you're going to get them. We have every human across the world has that power and possibility. And that power and possibilities are just coming from your head. And I'm not talking about IQ here, okay? Nothing related to that. It's just the power of your brain on your accomplishment. Of course, goals are different from one to the others, and they're proportional to the way you think. So everyone can be happy, as simple as that.
This is the perfect time to speak on IQ, you know, talking to a scientist who's so fascinated with, you know, neuroscience. In the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, one of the causes of failure, the first cause of failure is actually unfavorable hereditary or genetic background. And I disagree with that, because then if you read Carol Dweck's book Mindset, she says that everything can be learned. Like you can increase your IQ if you have a long enough timeline and you work towards improving your brain. You know, this concept of neuroplasticity, you can learn new things. And so I disagree that if you were born quote unquote unintelligent, that you can't be successful.
No, I agree on that. I agree.
So talk to me about a few ways that if people were, say, in high school or middle school, preschool, whatever, if they were labeled as not smart, what are some of the things that they can do to increase their intelligence?
Okay, there's many things on your subject. The first one is, let me go back to IQ. It's the definition of IQ, because today we're talking about emotional intelligence that has a bigger importance than mathematical intelligence.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you can increase your mathematical intelligence. That's fairly impossible, whatever plasticity you want to put there. But you can definitely improve your emotional intelligence. So overall, your intelligence will grow, but your IQ will not move. That's probably my theory there. When I go back to your question, somebody that is considered as dumb or not intelligent enough to in school, the problem that we had in the past generation is the way that people were judged in school, because we had no ideas of all the problem, the psychological effects of people with ADD, ADHD, and all these things that are shown to be sometimes even more clever than others. Yep. So those guys were excluded from school, and I got excluded. I got fired from school as well. So to improve your intelligence, if we are now talking about intelligence as in terms of knowledge, yeah, neuroplasticity is the secret, is learn new thing, expose yourself to new thing every day and stuff like that. I don't think you're going to be more intelligent, honestly, because for me, the intelligence is the capacity to make some precise and concise decision in any circumstances, and not being able to speak out some knowledge that you've learned from somebody or from a book or from so whatsoever. So people go like, and that's the problem for society today. People are like, oh, this guy is super intelligent, he knows so much thing. Well, if you talk to the guy and he's not even listening to you, but he's just trying to get the next question out, he's not intelligent. And it's not because he went to university that it's intelligent. I think that people are intelligent in terms of making reasonable decision, and decision that stands in the process and in time. So this is intelligence. In regards to both books, I don't think that I agree with one or the other. I will take a part of it on each, but learning is something that helps in our society, of course. Knowing things is something that is very important. Knowing too much is not always good, because sometimes you are so wrong from the things you've learned that life will show you that you were wrong. And I think that developing your intelligence is really exposing yourself to new things. That's the only way. Like, you don't know how to cook. You don't know how to, I don't know, surf. Try at least.
Learn by experience.
Yeah. Expose yourself to new experiences. Your brain will react to that, will create more neurons, will expose yourself to more knowledge in terms of life experience, and spend your time reading if you like to read. But I don't read much because I can't just focus on 2 pages. Mm-hmm. I would listen to podcast or audiobook, and even there, when I listen to an audiobook, after 10 minutes, my mind is already thinking about business or sports or girls or whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But this is it. We're made like that. And I don't know, it's difficult to judge intelligence. We still have this referential that it's called IQ, but I don't think it's still the best way to measure it.
Yeah, like what you said, emotional intelligence. I think especially these days, that is the new standard of the determining factor of success, because
Street
anything,
smart.
street smarts, your ability to form connections and quality relationships and communicate with other people.
That's it.
Are you familiar with the Harvard happiness study?
Yeah.
So relationships are the most important aspect of a long, healthy, and fulfilling life. Same thing in business. Business is all predicated on quality relationships and how you communicate with not only your customers, but your employees, everybody.
And look, on that point, thanks God we have these guys like Mark Zuckerberg. He changed the way that people looked connect. And connect and looked at CEOs. I do remember when I started my career, if you were not wearing a suit with a tie, you were not a CEO, or you couldn't go to a meeting like that.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm not wearing a tie it's been 20 years, I think.
Feels good to just wear a shirt or whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, it's like when people ask you, who are you? Most of people will say, oh, I'm the CEO of this company. No. I'm asking, who are you? Who? The person. No one can answer that. Most of the people, they don't know. They don't know how to describe themselves. This is mindfulness again. Know yourself. Who are you? I'm Jean. I'm like that. If you know to answer that simple question, you can go. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you don't have to prove anything to anyone.
That's a really good point. You don't have to prove anything to anyone once you know who you are. I think a lot of people are living lives and are chasing society's definition of success just to show, like you mentioned, their clout or their personal success or whatever it is. But once you know who you are, you don't have to prove anything to anybody else. And then
you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that feeling because I used to be that person. I used to chase these things to what's the word?
Please others.
To please other people, to impress other people.
Yeah.
But now, like, I don't care. I know who I am. I'm doing what I'm doing for me. And it's a great feeling to make that switch to living your life pleasing others, to living your life to please yourself. And then what you'll find is once you're able to truly fulfill yourself, then you can go and help other people, because you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to fill yourself first.
It's true. I like that. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty cool. And it's so true. And whatever you do, even if you chase and try to please or impress others, remember that you will always be judged by others. Even if you don't care, at the end of the day, there's always somebody out there that will judge you because they want to judge. And people are like that. They want to judge others to make them feel better. And that's fine. So as long as you don't care because you're yourself, that's it.
Yeah. Right. A few more questions. This one's going to be a little bit selfish. I just want to run my morning routine by you just to see what you think of it. Biohacker to biohacker. So first off, I wake up in the morning. I put on my, I forget the name of it, but the earbuds you put in your ears that shine light.
Okay.
A human charger, just because I wake up before the sun.
You do that? Okay.
Yeah. And then when the sun comes up, go out in the sun, use my massage gun, get all the blood flow and the lymph flow moving. Meditate with the Juve, put that on my balls for increasing testosterone.
Wow.
While I'm meditating. Yeah, it feels good.
Interesting.
From there, it'll be like a cold shower, some type of upgraded coffee with like lion's mane.
Oh, okay. Creatine. Tell me about the upgraded coffee. What is that?
Yeah, so I choose organic whole bean coffee, as I'm sure you know, for the pesticides and mycotoxins. And then in there, I put ashwagandha for a testosterone boost and also stress reduction. Okay. And then lion's mane for the cognitive boost, as well as creatine. And then grass-fed butter and MCT oil.
Oh, so you
sometimes
go
cocoa
almost
powder.
bulletproof coffee.
Yeah, it's bulletproof coffee with a few extra
Okay.
neuro
Yeah.
enhancing supplements. Yep.
Hmm.
And then
Interesting.
from there, it can kind of vary, but I'll take an ice bath every single day. I have one out in the back, sauna every single day. So that's my morning routine. You kind of mentioned some of yours, the cold shower
Cold
is part of
shower.
it.
Yeah.
What else
Well,
is part of your
the
morning
the
routine?
beginning seems to be pretty similar. I
Sunshine, you
wake,
mentioned.
yeah, I wake up, I drink water. That's for sure. That's the first thing I do. It's drink water. That's it. Water is life. And I move a bit just to activate inner organs to make sure that the blood is pumped everywhere. And because I'm getting older, to keep my flexibility as well. So it's
Do you
important.
do like a yoga type routine, stretching,
Yeah, gymnastic yoga, I would say,
calisthenics
but
type
yeah,
body weight? Okay.
yeah. But after just on waking up is just like stretching a bit and moving around and drinking water, and then I'll go for my espresso coffee. No butter, but chocolate. That was my post yesterday, actually. Black. I love dark chocolate. 99% chocolate. Cocoa is just like fantastic, and that boost of caffeine wakes me up. I don't use much, and usually I take my coffee outside, cold or warm, whatever the weather is. And you know that in Canada, in the winter, or weather temperature can go really down. So the problem is that in the winter we don't have light outside. Because it's too early. I wake up at 5:30, so 5 normally. So there is no light, natural light. So the time I go out and take my coffee, now it's great. I have light, but otherwise I have a specific light that reproduce the light of the sunshine. Of course, it's not the same because we're talking photons, and the difference is like drastic. It's just like I'm getting probably a billion small, tiny dose of light, but this is it.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And you can use actually red light to stimulate a bit more, and it works as well. But that's my routine, and then when I'm going to get ready for workout, so it's going to be half an hour after my coffee, I take a quick breakfast. I don't want to train empty stomach. It's just because I don't want to lose weight. It's not my goal. I'm stable. I've been stable my whole life, and I have no diet at all. And then I go for a cold shower. Energized.
In Canada, cold showers are real cold showers.
They are. You know what? This is the funny thing, because I have my house up north in the wood, and I have an apartment in town. It's funny because at my house up there, water is cold, but really cold. When I get in this apartment and I put the water to the coldest, feel like it's warm.
Warm shower, yeah, it's not as bad.
You know, the city water is just like, it's probably I don't know, at 7-8 degrees Celsius. I would say up there it's we're close to 0 degrees. Yeah, it's really cold.
Yeah.
After that cold shower, I'm gonna go. My gym is outside of my house, so if I'm up there, so I walk in my garden, and I try to walk barefoot, just to be grounded. It's so important. When there is snow, do the same. Doesn't matter. My feet are just like boots now.
Like Wim Hof.
I can stand in the snow. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me anymore.
The cyborg.
That's it. So I walk to my gym, and then I spend sometimes for meditation. It's important for me, and just to get my focus, because I know that I'm going to do a workout. I don't know what I'm going to do in my workout. I never plan my workout. It never happened in my life, except when I was training with Greg. But
just go based off feel.
With the flow. And to get the flow ongoing. And I have this faculty. Honestly, people ask me how I get there in the zone so easy. I don't know. My brain works that way. It's the whole preparation that when I start, so I finish my meditation and I'm warming up, but I'm putting my music on, and it's super important. The effect of music on brain is more and more. Again, today I've got a publication sent to me by University of California about music the effect of music on brain. So
when you say music, do you just mean music in general, or like binaural beats?
No, music in general. You are right, but music contains certain beats that are more favorite for you than another. What I don't like I'm using this application as well that has certain sound and music to stimulate the brain, but it's mainly I use it at night before going to bed or to fall asleep, but not in the morning. And sometimes I use it in certain circumstances when I want to work on a specific move only. I would switch to that. But other than that, I'm putting techno music, trance music. I'm a fan of trance music. In my career, I've been a DJ. And yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was a DJ, and it stayed. And the mix of ecstasy and things like that you take when you're DJ and you're composing the music has probably triggered some neural connection in my brain that when I put some music that I was composing before or that I listen now, I got that feeling of my brain taking one direction and just staying straight on that direction. And of course, with some breathing techniques, you get into the flow. This is it. That's as simple as that. So when I get into flow and I can stay in the flow for an hour and 45 minutes, I work out. And then I work out, and I never work out. I don't want to sweat. This is my type of workout. My type of workout is you go intense, you go slow motion, and really on slow motion, it's the best thing to gain strength. And you take pause between attempt and set and stuff like that. You burn fat, you build muscle, you stay in the flow. The sweat is just artificial stuff that your body creates to cool you down. It's not because you sweat 4 liters of sweat that your workout was better. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Calisthenics, some people, like, I don't know, bodybuilders or power lifters, they might make fun of it, but calisthenics is the real deal. When I was the head coach of the biggest CrossFit gym in Saudi Arabia, they had a calisthenics portion, and those guys are crazy. It's like, I've seen what you do on Instagram too, and it's insane. Like, it's a real workout, isometrics. It's crazy just being able to hold those positions. It's awesome.
Ask somebody doing weightlifting to just do a handstand push-up and do like 3 push-up on handstand. They can do it. They have muscle like that, but they can do it. Our muscle are not big; they're just like solid. But we can do more than 3. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Last question, and then we'll get into more about where people can find you and learn more about what you do. And this is kind of like a headline question to get people to click on the podcast for for the intrigue factor. What would you say are the, let's say, top 5 best biohacks for entrepreneurs? Assuming that they already have a foundation of, general sleep, nutrition, fitness, mindset. Assuming they're there, what would you say would be the next biohacks?
You think that from what you're saying, they already have the routine of their life, like waking up early, exposing to light, and good food? Or
maybe not exposing to light, because I think not many
that's
people know
one.
about that one. So that's
Yeah.
for sure one.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
one. That's one. That's
when
one.
I say when I say just a general awareness of health, I mean that they're not sleeping like only 5-6 hours a night. They're not eating McDonald's every day.
Okay. Like what they consider healthy life, like
they probably describe themselves as healthy, but they don't really know what health really feels like.
Yeah, because they go to the gym and they're happy and they're sweating.
Yeah.
That's it. So light, definitely. Cold shower, it's important. Cold shower, it's so beneficial. I know that some people don't like the cold, and it's fine, but it's proven. Thermogenesis works. That's it. That's all. Some people, they don't like it. But it's one that gives energy and align your brain for work, because you're an entrepreneur and you want to perform in work. And then I think that know your ultradian rhythm is one of the it's a simple biohack, but it's
the what rhythm?
Ultradian. With my accent, okay. Ultra, ULTRADIAN. Ultradian.
I'm not familiar with that. Is that similar to circadian rhythm?
Okay, but circadian rhythm is the 24-hour. Ultradian is the 1 hour and 30 minutes rhythm.
Oh, the 90-minute cycles.
Yeah, the 90 minutes rhythm that you have in your daily routine and cycle. So that's the ultradian rhythm, and the circadian is 24.
Okay.
If you know that, and if you know how your ultradian, to was answering the question, the light, yes, in the morning, absolutely, it's important. At least a good 15 minutes, yeah. Ultradian rhythm, if you know your ultradian rhythm, so the cycle your body works, first, you're going to be performing in your life, in your job, in your workouts, and you're going to sleep properly as well, because you know at what time you have to go to bed and how you're going to fall asleep or not, and there is no artificial stuff. So we have 3 biohack. I don't know if it's a biohack or not, but just stop watching TV.
That's a good one.
Just that I haven't watched TV for months and months. It's just like,
I will suggest, if you do want to watch TV, have you heard of Gaia?
Yeah.
Gaia TV? Yeah, that's what I would suggest. It's basically the
a good one.
like Netflix of personal development.
Yeah, I like that. It's true. It's nice. And then one of the biohack that is really underrated and not used in the proper way, it's music. Yeah, music, because you can use it in the morning to get energy, and you can use it at night when you go to bed to relax and get your pace down and your mind aligned for a good sleep. Relax. There is and it's not sponsored or whatsoever, but Andal from Germany, they have a fantastic app, and these guys are like really doing something special.
How do you spell that?
ENDEL. Andal.
Andal, okay.
Yeah. And I'm using it, and honestly, it's fantastic. Even if you want to be energized during the day, you can put some sounds on that they have, and it works very well. I fall asleep with this every night, and it takes and I know it takes 27 minutes for me, so I put my timer 27 minutes and fall asleep, because I'm very precise on my sleeping schedule. So we have 4. And the last one that I would say the most important biohack for your brain: walk in a non-known environment every day. Change the route to go to your office. Change the don't use a map. Don't use GPS. Go if you have the opportunity, like I have, to live close to woods. Go walk in the woods, but don't take the path. Go across trees and stuff like that. This is like crazy stimulators for neuroplasticity. And this is it. And before to bed, maybe take some supplement for a better sleep if you want. Magnesium.
Yeah.
Actually, magnesium threonate is the best, not magnesium only. But this, so you have triggered neuroplasticity, and then you can wash out all the debris and crap that are in your head and making you sick for the day after. And
wow, I really like that last one. I was not expecting that. That was good. for multiple reasons, just to get outside and enjoy your surroundings. I think so many people live where they are and they never really, I'm guilty of this too. Like they never really go experience where they are. Like if they were to be dropped 5 blocks from where they live, they couldn't find their way back because they never explore.
That's the thing. And this is, you know, the feeling of doing that, it's absolutely tremendous. It's insane. And it doesn't take long, like 20 minutes in unknown environment is so stimulating, and you feel it. You feel so good after that. You feel awesome. And it gives you the time to put things in perspective. So when I'm saying that, of course, you don't have any phone with you. Okay.
Yeah. you're not walking
you're
around.
Not on your, that's it. You're not on your Instagram walking in the woods.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm actually going to do that today because I think we all have this adventurous side of us. And I actually just recently changed one of my core values to adventure. And so now I got to live up to this. Like I need to go take a walk. And I'm guilty of that. I haven't done that as much as I need to. So thank you for mentioning that. And thank you for coming on the show. So now let's tell people where they can find more about you, what you're doing with Biohacker Update Magazine, your Instagram, all these things.
Yeah, well, you know what? This is the thing of my life. I'm telling people to be organized with their life and and do one thing at the time. But I'm involved in so many things that sometimes I'm just like trying to step back and go like, oh, okay, maybe I have too much on my plate and I should get rid of some things. But I like to be busy and I like to have my mind occupied as much as I can. So yeah, Biohackers Update was...
Real quick, I always like to make this kind of distinction. You said you like to be busy, and I would say you like to be productive.
Yeah,
I think there's
do something.
Busy and productive, and you are clearly productive.
Yeah. I cannot sit on a chair. Like for me, going to see a doctor and if they tell me you have 30 minutes to wait, I can't do that.
You have to be doing something.
Yeah, it's literally impossible. And I have this other default is I don't read for reading. I read to learn something. I don't watch for watching. I watch for learning. I don't do some things for nothing. I have to learn it. Like, for example, before I respond to your question, if I do sports, I'm not doing sport because I enjoy doing sports. Of course I do, but I do sport because I want to learn something into that sport. I'm a crazy snowmobiler, and I do extreme snowmobile backcountry on mountains. And I started from crap, but I went there with a coach just to learn to be like a pro. When I started calisthenics, it was the same goal. I want to learn every single move. I want to have every single skills. So Biohackers Update, let's go back to the topic, was a strange story for me. I got interviewed by these guys a while ago, and I was just like, that's an interesting magazine. No one actually made a magazine for biohacking. And I think that today the problem with biohacking is like there's two families or two variation. There's biohackers that are taking 200 pills a day and try to improve their life, and there biohackers that are just using natural stuff to improve their life. And at the end of the day, I'm a scientist, pure 100% science. Biohacking, as said in science, doesn't exist. And for somebody that owns a magazine, it's hard to say, but biohacker, you cannot biohack your body. You can improve what your body is made for, but you cannot biohack. You cannot hack your body. It's not made to be hacked. That's the point.
Interesting.
Because, yeah, you're just adapting what you are made for in the right direction. So this is why biohacking and scientific community have certain conflict. And I'm trying with the magazine to bridge that and to say, we biohacker and we scientists are talking the same, we're talking about the same thing. We're just having a different interpretation of it, but the goal is the same. So I'm trying to put the both community together and understand each other's, instead of having the biohackers using science sometimes in the wrong way to justify what they're doing, and scientists spitting on biohackers, saying that they're just like a bunch of cyberpunk, things like that. But I think there are some things to be done there, and this is probably the goal I have with Biohackers magazine. I would like to have this community actually, to have the world understand that biohacking is just a buzzword, but at the end of the day, it's the optimization of the human that science wants.
Yeah. That's
the goal of science.
Yeah.
As well.
So where can we find Biohackers Update magazine? Okay, so
biohackersupdate.com, biohackersmagazine.com. Both sites are functional and one goes to the other. Biohackersmagazine.com is the recent one that we just redesigned. And then you have, you can download the magazine there. You can go on their Instagram, biohackers_updates as well, or from my page, Cyborg Gains, you have the link to Biohackers as well. And other than that, to find me, the best way to find me is to go on my Instagram, and there is a whole list of links on my bio where you can see what I'm doing. If you want to have my book, it's there as well. My website, cyborggains.com. Where I speak about everything, biohacking and other things as well, science and stuff like that. And if you follow me on Instagram, that's where I preach my theories about using your mind to master your body.
Love it.
As simple as that. And it's following my businesses is not necessary. It's business, you know. Yeah. It's I'm in the boring field of making freezers for the biomedical community. So we're a manufacturer of freezers. Of course, COVID vaccine are stored into freezers. So we got very busy recently making more freezers to supply the community, to help society to get vaccinated. But this is the boring side of my life.
Useful, but boring.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Awesome, Jean. Well, this has been amazing. Spreading tremendous value. Thank you so much for coming on. And I'll link to everything that you said in the show notes so people can find you in Biohackers Update. So thanks again for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. It was awesome. It was a fantastic discussion. Great pleasure. And thanks everyone for watching as well.